What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now Plus. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about a Killzone VR game. This has been going around the internet late yesterday, and it seems like it's happening, and that makes me very, very excited. So let's talk about, how this came about, and then I'll go more into, how excited I would be. So basically, this comes from PSVR Without Parole. That's a YouTube channel. They do really good work. They don't do many videos, and they don't even do many leaks or anything like that. But when they do, they nail it. I would say every single time I've seen it, at least, they nail it. They're a really, really good YouTube channel. So if you guys want a VR, mainly, actually it is, PSVR YouTube channel, they're the guys to go to. And so basically their story is this. Sony contracted Supermassive Games. So Supermassive Games, makers of Until Dawn, makers of the Dark Pictures Anthology, they were going to make a Killzone VR game for the first one, for PSVR 1, the original. It was in development for years, and then in 2019, Sony wasn't happy with the progress that was being made, so they pulled it from Supermassive, and they made the game internally. So we don't actually know, based off of these rumors and leaks, where the game is being made. It could be made really anywhere, just somewhere that they would own, I guess. And so because of that, because it's brought back, internally to be developed, so that means it's being made again. So it's probably for PSVR 2, and that's pretty much all they got, which is fine. That's enough stuff to go off of. So I think this is an awesome idea. I love this idea. I've been saying for a while, Killzone is one of those franchises. Like I would never say Killzone is in like the super top echelon of franchise, or even franchises I want to come back. Like I would take Infamous, Resistance, and Sly easily, those three. That's just off the top of my head. PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale for sure as well. I would take them all coming back like over Killzone. And I would make this controversial opinion. I do think Resistance is a better shooter than Killzone is. And I do think it's a better overall game and game franchise than Killzone is. And maybe the reason why it's always kind of been debated is because, well, Resistance never sold well, and then Killzone was just never really adopted all that, massively, as that first-person shooter. And they had both of them going somewhat simultaneously, somewhat at the same time. So I get why Killzone is no longer around. I want it back fully. Like, I just said, there are games and franchises I want back first or more, but I would easily take a return to Killzone because I do think the universe is really cool. Obviously, they really always pushed the graphics at the time, no matter what it was, and it was a solid shooter. It was a very, very solid shooter. So I would take it back in a heartbeat, and having a PSVR game. Now, the thing is, and I always get worried about this, and they'll have to prove me wrong, honestly, at this point. When you get games like this, or when you hear games like this, I don't want like a 15-minute tech demo. I don't want a return to Killzone should not be hidden behind not necessarily just PSVR 2. Like if Killzone makes its return as a PSVR 2 game, that's fine. I don't think that's all that bad. But if it makes its return as a 30-minute thrown, or even, okay, more realistic, like 1 to 2 hour thrown together, like the developers had a year to make it, whatever. If that's how it's going to come back, I don't want it. And now you could argue that they had Supermassive Games, so they had a really solid one. And Supermassive, don't forget, made, I believe, Until Dawn. Oh God, I forget the name. Festival of Blood, was that the name of it? They made Until Dawn. I think they made one other, but maybe that was the only one. So they had a pretty high profile studio making it for years, and then they pulled it from them, and then they kept making it internally. So I would, I guess, argue based off of, if the stuff is obviously true, you have to, consider that. But if it is true, this game has probably been in some form of development for a long, long time. So when it does come out, I mean, I would kind of expect it to be a full thing. Like, give me at least 4 or 5 hour Killzone game for VR. And if you can do that, and if you can put us back into Killzone in VR for VR 2, which would be pretty incredible, I would take it. So, this... And if you could do that, by the way, for launch, if at launch you said, hey, play Horizon, obviously a spin-off, but play this Horizon game, it's on PSVR 2. You can play a new Killzone game on PSVR 2. I think the kicker will be Spider-Man. I think it would be insane at launch, or maybe not at launch, but at some point in the PSVR 2 lifecycle, if you don't have some sort of Spider-Man spin-off or, side thing to do in VR 2, you've lost your brain. I really think that should be a priority for Sony to get some sort of Spider-Man game on PSVR 2, however you would do it. But Killzone, I will start there. Killzone, you can start there, and I think that would be fine. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Make sure you guys are subscribed, bell icon turned on so you know when all these videos go up, and I hope to see you all on tomorrow's video.